The question I'm going to try to address today is about Fai Chi, the application of the Fai Chi, what's its real meaning, how a Fai Chi can be healing for ourselves. This is a question that I received on the Discord group available for my students. Please, if you haven't joined yet, do that. It's free. It's a way to connect with other Nei Gong practitioners. They are all over the world, so it's a good way also to make connection, to ask questions, to be in touch closely, even to me. Apart that, my students, they have the WhatsApp number and everything, but just do that. Just send me a message or an email and, I will pass you the link to the group. So let's try to understand what is asking. The role of the Fai Chi in our personal healing and its application, what can we do with it? Well, first of all, we have to understand one thing. To reach an high level of mastery and energy level in our body, we have to have a very healthy body. Because the advanced programs that we do, the Nei Gong, let's call them the Nei Gong programs, the advanced programs, they are really demanding. And at some point, when we grow to a certain degree, even practicing 20 minutes will be more than enough, because the intensity is quite high of this kind of exercises. So first of all, to do Fai Chi, we have to be extremely fit. We have to be extremely strong. And when we approach this kind of advanced programs, the first thing that we do is building the foundations, because otherwise those programs can even be harmful. So with the basic programs, which, sometimes can be underestimated, but in reality, when you practice them back as advanced practitioner, you realize actually their role, what they do, actually they're very valuable. With the basic programs, we build up the foundation, physical, mental, emotional foundation that allows us to do the advanced programs. Otherwise, they will be too strong and very difficult to handle. In the past, this is a little bit of a story. When Shifu Costantino Valente, my teacher, the founder of the Nei Gong system, learned these advanced programs from Shifu Luo and Shifu Zhou. As a good teacher, as somebody who really cares for his students, he tried to pass this program to his students who were not prepared for it. And actually some of these students, they started to have issues because they were not prepared to handle that kind of work that we do in the advanced programs that really requires some foundational basis. So that's why we have the basic programs. So this little bit to answer to the question, what kind of healing does the Fai Chi brings in our life? Well, personally, you have to be healed. You have to be quite in a good shape to do a Fai Chi, because it's a really demanding work. Actually, when you're doing a Fai Chi, if you think about this, you're taking your own vital energy and you're throwing your vital energy out. So, of course, it's an excess that we have. That's the kind of, even if you see the website, the description of the Nei Gong, the very own page, it is the millennial practice that allows you to gather more chi or more energy, what you need for your health, to use the excess for healing, spiritual, martial art purposes. What does that mean? First, I have to be in a very good shape, and then once I gather more than what it is needed for myself, then I can use it for other purposes. Because we have to understand one thing. This energy thing is the foundation of ourself. I don't know much about it, honestly, because life is quite a big thing, so I'm not too pretentious about it. But for sure, it's the more essential thing that I feel we can work with. Still experientiable, still practical, essential in its nature. And this energy is powering up our physical, mental, and emotional being, aspects. So we have to have those things working properly in place to later on gather and refine more of this energy to being able to do what we are talking about in this video, the Fai Chi. Now, say this, when we do a Fachi, as I said before, we are taking our excess that we have stored and throwing outside. It could be for good reasons. One reason could be a teacher trying to help his or her students, opening their channels, their meridians, or working on their dantian, to helping them in their progress. Although this kind of approach is not the ultimate solution, because the real solution is to practice every day. So that is a kind of, let's say, plus thing that can happen, but not really is going to be the thing that is going to do the work for you. So if you meet somebody who's going to promise you a big thing by doing the work for you, asking for lots of money, I will actually go in the other direction. If they do it for free, it means that probably they're quite genuine about it. And then in the middle, you can make your choice. There's a wide spectrum about this. So there could be a nice application of using your own vital energy, not just a waste. Like in the case of a Qi demonstration, actually it's just a waste. Of course, we have to do it sometimes to prove that we are talking about something real. We're not talking about theory, because everybody can talk about energy, but only the facts, actually, they can give us idea that this thing is real and that the system really works. So the reason why we do sometimes this Qi demonstration is to give a demonstration that of what we're talking about, actually it really works what we do, And a Qi demonstration could be, the Fachi, for instance. By the way, you have different kind of energy emission. Fachi is one of them. And there are other videos on the YouTube channels that talk about this. If you have more questions, please ask. Fachi is the one which is perceived more as an electric feeling experience for the receiver. And the level of intensity inside the body of the practitioner doing that is quite high. It takes years. Some people maybe have little sensation in the dantian, which is quite, relatively easy to have, and they believe they've reached what kind of level. It's not like that. It really takes lots of time, and it's not that easy. Even if you have loads of energy inside yourself, to push it out and to actually make it tangible for others, it's not easy. Even if there is a lot inside yourself. Also because certain things need to be in place. And not everybody actually is able to do it, although they may be very good practitioner and everything. So that's one thing. The other thing could be, helping someone who has some kind of health issue by doing a Fachi, but that's kind of a very demanding and not really effective process in one sense for the practitioner itself, because it means really, as I said, throwing your vital energy outside, which you can do it for a very short time. You cannot be there and doing a long treatment. That's why when you learn the first advanced Nei Gong program called the qigong, we also use an electric machine, which, by the way, Qi and electricity are two different things. They're very different. They share some similarities, but Qi is no electricity, just to clarify, because some people believe that Nei Gong is just about using this machine. It's not. We do it for 1 year in the first advanced program, then we leave it, we don't use it anymore, and we do other stuff. So, but when we learn this advanced program called the qigong, we also learn a healing method, but we're able to replenish ourselves with more dense energy while we are doing effectively an emission on some acupuncture points. So we learn how to treat people. And if you think about this, it happens after 18 months of the basic programs. First advanced program, it happens after that. It's a pretty advanced stuff. And you'll learn also how to be helpful with others once you learn how to manage a little bit yourself with this kind of device, and also you have a certain control over your own vital energies. So these are the kind of application that I can think of Fachi, healing somebody, helping a practitioner to grow faster, doing a demonstration, which might have a certain purpose. Apart from that, I don't think really has any value. There are much more important aspects related to the practice that really open up dimension of life where we don't even think that they are possible. There are even more astonishing for me kind of Qi emission, energy emission, which is like the last program that we have in the Nei Gong program, the Gong, where energy is transferred at distance, regardless we are in the same part of the planet. On the other side, things that don't really make any sense for the rational mind, but they are just less dense aspect of reality that really behave very differently from the more physical dense matter, let's say, the one we are accustomed to. And apart from that, from this kind of skills, which at the end of the day, skills, okay, they are good, they are okay. That there's something much more than that this kind of practice can lead to, which probably is discovering of your own essence, discovery of something more than yourself, being in touch energetically also with life, with certain aspects of life. So it's really enhancing the human being and taking it in a practical way to another level. That's what is Nei Gong for me about. So I hope that I replied a little bit to the student question. If you have any question, drop them below or join the Discord group, and feel free to suggest topics there.